we'll move to the next topic, which is called energy sources. These are particularly electrical. So as we know, there are a lot of energy sources, but we'll limit ourselves to the electrical energy sources. So if you see this diagram here, we have just classified the electrical sources. So mainly there are two electrical sources. One is called the voltage source and another is called the current source. Now, the voltage source is further classified in two groups, which is called the ideal voltage source and the practical voltage source. Similarly, the current sources are further classified in two groups, that is ideal current source and the practical current source. Now let us see these sources in detail. So first of all, can you tell me what is voltage source and current source? What is the difference between them? Then we'll move for ideal and practical voltage source. Anyone? What is the difference between voltage source and current source? Do you know? Yes. At our home, we get 240 volt AC supply. Is this a voltage source or current source?
Voltage source.
How and why?
Sir, because you mentioned 240 volt. So volt is related to voltage. So that's why I said voltage source.
So there is also mentioned 6 ampere. If you go to purchase or if you see that your box, distribution box carefully, and over the switch or the socket, there is written 240 volt 6 ampere. असं लिहिलेलं असतं त्याच्यावर. करंट पण लिहिलेलं आहे ना. Okay, so you might have studied these sources in electronics, basic electronics. I don't know whether it is there in syllabus. So basically, what is the difference between voltage source and current source? We all know that whenever we get current from any source, then we have the voltage. We have the EMF, which will push the electrons into the circuit. These basic definitions we have covered, right? And actual flow of electrons is nothing but the current. But what happens in voltage source and current source? If it is a voltage source, then the voltage, output voltage at that source is constant. Listen carefully what I am telling you. These are general things. In voltage source, the output voltage of that source is constant. Then it is called voltage source. Then opposite to that, what will be current source? The output current in that source is constant. Then it is called the current source. आता प्रॅक्टिकली याला कसं बघू आपण. सपोज आपल्याकडे एक बॅटरीचं व्होल्टेज 12 व्होल्ट आहे. त्या बॅटरीला आपण लॅम्प कनेक्ट करतोय वेगवेगळ्या रेटिंगचा, तर काय होणार आहे? किंवा एखादं प्रॅक्टिकल सर्किट, पॅरलल सर्किट आहे, पॅरलली लॅम्प्स कनेक्ट केलेले आहे, तर काय असणार आहे? प्रत्येक लॅम्पच्या अक्रॉस व्होल्टेज सेम असेल. पण जर वेगवेगळ्या रेटिंगचा आपण लॅम्प कनेक्ट केला, सपोज एक 5 वॅटचा आहे, एक 10 वॅटचा आहे, एक 15 वॅटचा आहे, 20 वॅटचा, तर काय असणार आहे? करंट चेंज असणार आहे प्रत्येक लॅम्पच्या अक्रॉस, पण व्होल्टेज काय सेम आहे बिकॉज ऑफ पॅरलल सर्किट. तसंच 240 वोल्ट तुम्हाला एक्झाम्पल दिला, आपल्याकडे 240 वोल्ट येतं सिंगल फेज, बरं. त्याच्यात व्होल्टेज काय कॉन्स्टंट आहे, करंट काय व्हेरिएबल आहे. करंट कशावर डिपेंड असणार आहे? लोडवर डिपेंड असणार आहे. आपण फॅन जर कनेक्ट केला, फॅन 60 वॅटचा आहे, त्याला तेवढं करंट लागेल. V इज इक्वल टू IR ने आपण काढू शकतो, सॉरी P इज इक्वल टू VI ने आपण पॉवर व्होल्टेज करंट ते काढू शकतो. आपण इस्त्री कनेक्ट केली, इस्त्री जवळपास 1 किलोवॅट 1000 वॅटची असते, त्याप्रमाणे करंट आहे. वेगवेगळ्या रेटिंगचा आपण लोड कनेक्ट केला की करंट चेंज होणार आहे, व्होल्टेज कॉन्स्टंट असणार आहे, लक्षात घ्या. तर तो झाला व्होल्टेज सोर्स आपला. आता करंट सोर्स मध्ये काय असणार आहे? करंट कॉन्स्टंट असतं, व्होल्टेज चेंज होते. सो दॅट इज कॉल्ड द करंट सोर्स. तर पर्टिक्युलरली आपण तुम्ही प्रॅक्टिकली व्होल्टेज सोर्सच बघितले असतील आणि मोस्टली व्होल्टेज सोर्सच आपण यूज करतो. फक्त करंट सोर्सचे काही ऍप्लिकेशन्स आहेत की तिथं करंट सोर्स यूज करतात, जसं बॅटरी चार्जिंग. लिथियम आयन बॅटरी चार्जिंगला करंट सोर्स लागतो, कॉन्स्टंट करंट सोर्स. नंतर काही एक्झाम्पल आहे, इन्व्हर्टर्स वगैरे असतात. इन्व्हर्टर्समध्ये करंट सोर्स लागतो, म्हणजे नॉट फॉर द आउटपुट, जे आउटपुटला मिळतं आपल्याला DC to AC, तिथं नाही. त्याच्यामध्ये जे फंक्शनिंग असते तिथं करंट सोर्स, कॉन्स्टंट करंट सोर्स, कॉन्स्टंट व्होल्टेज सोर्स, असे 2 प्रकारचे इन्व्हर्टर्स असतात. तर त्या सर्किटमध्ये करंट सोर्स वापरतात, किंवा मग काही प्रॅक्टिकल पर्पजसाठी करंट सोर्स वापरू शकतो. So very few examples of this current source, but most of the times we use voltage sources. So got this? What is the basic difference? If someone asks you what is voltage source and current source, what is their difference? So in one sentence you can tell, in voltage source voltage is constant, in current source current is constant. That's all. And examples I have given, voltage source, there are a lot of examples, batteries, the source, voltage source that we are getting AC 240 volt. Current source, the best example is battery charging circuit, which is lithium ion battery charging circuit, not lead acid. Then inverter circuits and maybe some electronic circuits. Now let's see in detail what is ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. Thereafter we'll see ideal current source and practical current source. Now as you read this word ideal voltage source, one thing again it comes in mind, that the voltage source which is in ideal condition called the ideal voltage source. Practical voltage source, there may be some losses in that voltage source, then it is called the practical voltage. Now ideal voltage source, which is a source where the internal resistance is 0. Look at that. This is the ideal voltage source that we can have. A voltage source which is a 2-terminal device. As we know, I told you what is voltage source. At any instant of time, the voltage is constant for that particular voltage source, right? And the ideal voltage source is what? In such a condition that the internal resistance for this source is 0, then it is called ideal voltage source. Now what is this internal resistance? See, if you have battery, right? The battery, which is an electromechanical device, sorry, chemical device, right? It contains electrolyte, it contains some electrodes, positive electrode, negative electrode, like so these electrodes made from some metallic elements, right? So these conductors are having some resistance, right? Suppose we are using that copper, so copper is also having some resistance. If instead of copper, if you are using aluminium, then it is having more resistance than copper, right? So this is how for this complete voltage source there is an internal resistance, and due to that internal resistance the output voltage is less than the produced EMF. So in ideal voltage source, this internal resistance is 0, it is not present, then it is called the ideal voltage source. That's why it is called ideal voltage source. Now when this ideal voltage source is connected across a load, the current start flowing and the terminal voltage VAB, which is equal to V. In ideal voltage source, whatever the value of this load current, see, the load current is increasing with respect to time, with respect to voltage, then the voltage VAB, that is equal to V. There will be no effect of the terminal voltage because there is no resistance. त्या सोर्स मध्ये रेजिस्टन्सच नाही आहे, तर व्होल्टेज ड्रॉप नाही होणार, आणि आउटपुट व्होल्टेज दॅट इज इक्वल टू इनपुट व्होल्टेज. Very simple thing. In ideal voltage source, the internal resistance is 0. That's why there is no voltage drop, and hence the output voltage or the terminal voltage is equal to the source voltage. By using this graph, you can just conclude that whatever the value of load current's value is increasing, but the voltage value is constant. It is not changing. So this is nothing but it is constant throughout the time or throughout the change in load current. Now opposite to ideal voltage source, practical voltage source. Now you will understand what is the difference. Now practical voltage source, this is nothing but a voltage source having internal resistance. some amount of internal resistance which are present in the voltage source. Then it is called practical voltage source. Right? Now this internal resistance for the source, we can just draw it separately, which will be in series with the voltage source. So up to this point A and B, this is the complete source. So this source is having a voltage source and the series resistance. So it is called the practical voltage source. Generally, we don't write this resistance separately, but this is for understanding purpose. We are just including this resistance in series with the voltage source. This is present in the source itself. We don't need to write it or draw it separately. So what happens? Now look at, this is the source voltage V, this is the resistance RAC, series resistance, and this is the load voltage VAB. Now what will happen when you apply Kirchhoff's voltage law to this network, this loop? So what we have, this is the source and there are two terminals. Suppose the load is having some resistance, RL, right? So what happens? There are two resistance and one voltage source. So this V is equal to IREC plus IRL. Suppose RL is the load resistance. So what the KVL equation we have? V minus IREC minus IRL. Right? So due to that, this terminal voltage VAB is no longer equal to source voltage V. What this? Because of some amount of voltage drop will be there at this series resistance, and that is equal to VAC is equal to I into RAC. This amount of voltage drop will be there in the series resistance. This is called the internal resistance. So whenever we calculate this VAB at the end, so that is equal to V minus IRAC. Source voltage minus the voltage drop across the series resistance. V minus IRAC. So VAB is always less than the source voltage V. At the end, we can conclude this. And when we draw the curve for the load current versus VAB, then what we can have, as the load current is increasing, the terminal voltage is decreasing. Because of the current is increasing, then again this IRAC drop will also increase, and the resultant VAB will decrease. Right? So that's why in the practical voltage source, the terminal voltage is less than the source voltage. आपल्याला जी काही टर्मिनल व्होल्टेज ती एक्झॅक्ट व्होल्टने मिळेल. बऱ्याच ठिकाणी तुम्ही ऑब्झर्व करू शकता किंवा घरी पण तुम्ही ऑब्झर्व करू शकता 240 व्होल्ट आपल्याला आयडियल व्होल्टेज पाहिजे, पण काय होतं बरेच आपण लोड जर वाढवला, बरेच डिव्हाइसेस आपले ऑन असतील तर आपल्याला 240 व्होल्ट नाही मिळेल. 235, 230, even below 230 sometimes we get. That is allowed. 10% tolerance allowed असतो कुठल्याही डिव्हाइसला. त्याच्यावर रेटिंग तुम्ही पाहू शकता. 220 to 250 असं किंवा 270 असं दिलेलं असतं की त्या रेंजमध्ये व्होल्टेज जर असेल तर त्याचं काम व्यवस्थित करणार आहे ते डिव्हाइस. राईट? So that is allowed. So you can observe this phenomena in many things. In battery also, you just take a battery, connect the resistance, increase that resistance. So you'll observe that the resultant voltage is decreasing. And this is due to the internal resistance. In practical, जे काही आपण सोर्सेस बघतोय प्रॅक्टिकलला किंवा बॅटरीज वगैरे असतील ते सगळे प्रॅक्टिकल व्होल्टेज सोर्स, त्याच्यामध्ये इंटरनल रेजिस्टन्स प्रेझेंट असतो. त्यामुळे आपल्याला आउटपुट एक्झॅक्ट व्होल्टेज नाही मिळत. ठीक है? So hope you understood what is ideal voltage source and practical voltage source. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Then similarly, we will see ideal current source and practical current source. Now, just like in voltage source, there is a series resistance which is present for practical voltage source and absent for ideal voltage source. In case of current source, there is a shunt resistance. Shunt means parallel, right? So you'll come to know by looking at this diagram for ideal current source. So which is again a two-terminal circuit element which supplies the same current to any load resistance connected across its terminal. This is nothing but the current source, and as I told you, In current source, the current is constant, voltage is variable in simple language. Now, here you can observe the ideal current source. The symbol for current source that we can have, this is the symbol for current source, a circle, and inside that circle there is a arrow. This arrow will indicate the direction of the current. So this side must be positive, this side must be negative. So this is the symbol for current. Now up to this point A and B, this is the complete symbol for current source. Now at the terminal A and B, the load is connected where load resistance is RL and the current IL which is flowing through that load resistance. Now in ideal current source, the shunt resistance is infinite. What does it mean infinite? If resistance is infinite, that means it is simply open circuit. रेजिस्टन्स इन्फायनाईट असेल तर त्याला काय म्हणतो आपण ओपन सर्किट आहे. खूप जास्त रेजिस्टन्स आहे म्हणजेच काय ओपन सर्किट. मेगा ओम किंवा त्याच्यापेक्षा जास्त रेजिस्टन्सची व्हॅल्यू असेल तर इट इज ऑलमोस्ट ओपन सर्किट. कीप इन माइंड दिस थिंग. And opposite to that, just for information, if resistance is zero, then this is called short circuit. So always keep in mind, if resistance is infinite, it is open circuit. If resistance is zero, it is short circuit. So here, for the ideal current source, the shunt resistance is infinite. That means it is nothing but the open circuit. So there is no resistance in between, in parallel with the current source. So what happens? The total source current that will be supplied to the load. So that's why this IL is equal to I. जे काही सोर्स करंट आहे ते पूर्ण करंट कुठे जाणार आहे लोडला जाणार आहे बिकॉज देर इज नो अदर ब्रांच विच इज प्रेझेंट इन दिस सर्किट. And at the end, what happens? Whatever the value of voltage, if it is increasing, the current, resultant current or the terminal current is equal to the source current, and this value will be very constant. No change in the load current. This is called the ideal current source. And opposite to that, practical current source. Now you will understand more clearly. In practical current source, this shunt resistance is present, which is having some finite value. Now, what happens? For this source current now, there are two paths. One is the current which is flowing through the shunt resistance, ISH, and the current which is flowing through load resistance, IL. So now there are two paths for the current. So at this point, let us say this is point X, and this is a node where more than two branches are meeting. So at this node, the incoming current is this I, which is a source current. The outgoing current is ISH and IL. So we can just write the KCL equation. I is equal to ISH plus IL. And at the end, this load current IL, which is equal to I minus ISH. So this load current IL is equal to I minus ISH. Now, due to this shunt resistance is present, the current will pass through this branch also. And that's why the resultant current or the load current IL is no longer equal to source current. It will be less than the source current. And that is what the effect we can observe. If there is a shunt resistance, then terminal current is less than the source current. Again, by looking at this curve, we can understand that how the current is decreasing as the voltage or the load is increasing. So this voltage is increasing and the resultant current is decreasing. So this effect can be observed for the practical current sources. So in a day-to-day life, whatever the voltage source and current source we observe, these are all practical current sources and practical voltage sources. Ideally, we can just imagine and we can just have for theoretical calculations. So hope you understood what is the ideal practical voltage source and ideal practical current source.